this is Margaret Lynch from margaretmlynch.com, and I am here again with Dr. Judith Swack, and she is going to do another great video for us, and this one she's got something really cool cooked up about the subject of disappointment. And so Dr. Judith Swack is the creator of Healing from the Body Level Up. And her website is www.hblu.org, which is a pretty content-rich website there. Mm-hmm. And she's going to show us another process that isn't exactly tapping, but it's really opening up your mind to recognize that energy psychology is a bigger realm of using energetic principles and energetic techniques beyond just the tapping that you see me doing. And so I'm really excited to do another process because this one, she says, is going to install something cool in us about the idea of disappointment.
Yes, and you'll probably be really surprised too. So I'm looking forward to seeing the surprise on your face.
Right, and you know, business people, we come up against disappointment all the time. We set big goals for ourselves, especially when we're real achievers, and especially when we've gone into business for ourselves and we've never had to deal with going after and achieving goals that are all on us.
Oh yeah,
and so it's easy to go to disappointment.
Very easy.
So how do we get started?
All right, first of all, let me review Healing from the Body Level Up. Healing from the Body Level Up methodology is a methodology that gets people unstuck by healing their blocks to success at the conscious level, the unconscious level, the body and the soul levels. So today we're going to ask your deepest wisdom, and we're going to show you how to self-muscle test. We're going to ask if there's a situation where you felt disappointment and you need to process that in a better way.
Great.
So let's show you the muscle testing.
I love getting all this free, this great free stuff.
All right.
Are we doing this kind of muscle testing?
No, let's do the self-muscle testing.
Okay,
so you
great.
can do this at home.
Great, right.
All right, so usually we face north, but you don't have to, but facing north gets a better muscle test. And so ask your body to show you a yes signal, and notice which way you tilt. Of course, relax your body around the ankles so your body can tilt. All right, let's have a body yes. Very nice.
Little tilt forward again.
Little tilt forward, and body no.
That one is really interesting because I feel my body tense and go back.
Okay,
so
well,
that's a pretty. I know what my no is.
Well, you don't want to fall over backwards,
right,
but at least you can see the no.
Right.
All right.
Very cool.
So, Margaret, from your deepest wisdom, do you have a situation where you experience disappointment that you still need to process? And do you not? All right, can you tell us just a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's a decision, business decision, where I could easily go through all the wonderful things that came of it, but I can also go to that place that says, this one part of it, that was a disappointment. It could have been better, it should have been better, I wish it had been better.
Okay.
So I think I'd call that disappointment, Judith.
All right, good.
And I'd love to clear that.
All right, so here's the deal. Disappointment is often problematic for people.
Yes.
When they feel disappointed because they've really worked hard and they really wanted something dearly and it didn't turn out the way they wanted it, people can easily get overwhelmed by that feeling of disappointment, that sort of sinking, leaden feeling of disappointment. Heavy feeling. It's
definitely a heavy feeling.
And it stops them. It just stops them in their tracks. But interestingly enough, if you use the energy of disappointment properly, it's a very strong motivating energy.
Okay, so the energy of disappointment, like you're saying it like it's a good thing.
Yes, it motivates you. Who knew?
Right.
Is that surprising?
Yes, show us how to do that.
All right, I certainly will. So this is a technique from neuro-linguistic programming. It's a strategy installation that teaches you how to use your unconscious mind to process disappointment.
Okay.
So I'm going to read this technique to you, and you're going to be surprised, okay? And then you're going to think about it, and it's going to make such perfect sense.
Great.
Okay? So.
And so everyone watching the video, this is going to work just
right.
like it's going to work on me.
Exactly. Do it along with us. Think about a time when you felt really disappointed, and it stopped you in your tracks, okay? Now, step one, recognize that you feel disappointed. See, some people get angry or get sad or get frightened. They don't realize that what it is disappointment.
Okay. Okay.
So you have to recognize you feel disappointment and then call it what it is. I feel disappointed.
How about I'm so disappointed?
I'm so disappointed.
That's the way I say it.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then notice where you feel it in your body.
Okay.
So when you feel disappointment, where do you feel it in your body?
I feel it right, like a sinking right here.
Yeah, there you go. Sinking feeling right there. Okay, now, once you've recognized it, with respect and appreciation, recognize that your feeling of disappointment is a signal. It's a signal of something. And it's telling you that you need to reevaluate your results.
Okay.
So with a feeling of curiosity, evaluate whether what you wanted and did not get is still worth wanting. Is it worth it? Because if it is worth it, then think of ways to be creative and come at it from a different direction and persist until you get what you wanted.
Right, so it's coming back around to the how bad do I still want it? I
And
wanted
then
it pretty bad at one point.
and so is it still worth it? And if so, how else do I want to go about getting it? And think about how in the past you've done that a lot. Right? Life being what it is, you didn't get it one way, you got it another way.
Right, right.
And it stimulated creativity.
Right, right. To go around whatever was in the way. Okay.
That's right. So it really exercised all of you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay.
All right. And you're motivated because it's still worth pursuing. However, if it's not worth pursuing, you put a lot of effort into it, you got very little back, in the end it didn't turn out satisfying, it's not worth doing. Then think about what else you would like to do that would be worth doing and point yourself in that direction.
Okay.
And then bring all your creativity and perseverance and wisdom into achieving the something else that you wanted.
Okay. Yeah, so let it go in a way so that energy can be focused in a new direction.
That's right. So in either direction you win.
Right, right.
Right?
Nice.
Exactly. So as long as you have that feeling, know that you need to figure out what direction you want to go and then put all your attention into it and come up with a new way to get it.
Very
If you
nice.
don't get this, well then you'll get that.
Okay.
What the heck?
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So, are you surprised?
I like that. I like how it gives us a strategy to deal with disappointment, because when we want something so bad, the disappointment kind of stops us in our tracks.
Exactly.
And not even asking the question, is it something that I still want bad enough?
Right.
Versus was it something I need to let go? I've already,
Right.
I'm
And what else would
past
I rather get?
it. Right, right.
Right. So again, it sends you into a choice point,
Yeah,
and then you directionalize your energy.
right. As opposed to letting the energy stick with it.
And then you sit there and,
With
like
a lump.
like a lump, yeah.
Trying not to think about it.
Yeah, forget the lump idea.
Yeah,
No
or-
lumping here.
And so how do we instill this, as you said, at a deeper level?
Well, we're going to do this with FO holding.
Okay.
So go ahead and sit down. Again, here's this very great technique. It's called unwinding frontal occipital holding. It's a combination of polarity therapy and applied kinesiology. So you put one hand on your forehead and the other hand on the back of your head where the bump is, up in the middle of your head. And you think about that feeling of disappointment, and I'm going to read you the strategy. And you're going to let your head move however it wants to, and this strategy is going to go right into your unconscious mind directly and be there for you. Okay? So here we go.
So everyone's holding their head right now.
Yep,
Let's do it. And this is part of the HBLU process that you...
that's correct.
Okay, very
All
cool.
right. So step one, recognize that you feel disappointed. Right? You know how to do that.
Mhm.
And with respect and appreciation, recognize that your feeling of disappointment is a signal that you need to reevaluate your results. With a feeling of curiosity, evaluate whether what you wanted and did not get is still worth continuing to want. And if you decide it's still worth pursuing, remember times where you got creative, persevered, and eventually found ways to get what you wanted, right? And know that you can always do that again, so feel reassured about your ability to do that. Now, if what you wanted and did not get is no longer worth wanting, consider what would be more worthwhile under the circumstances. If it's time to find other things to pursue, recall times when you changed your goals and eventually succeeded at getting what you wanted, and feel reassured about your ability to do that. Right? So imagine doing what you need to do to eventually get what you want, adding detail and vividness until you feel confident about that future.
Very cool.
All right. So,
yeah, and so I, from my experience, what it felt like to me was a lot of motion. I don't know if my head was moving a lot, but I felt motion back and forth, and I felt motion circularly, and I'm not sure if it even showed on camera, but definitely, having a hypnosis background, I felt the hypnotic state really quickly.
yeah.
Right? I was by myself here for a while.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
And now, when you go back to that event that you were thinking about, where you had that one area where you felt disappointed, how do you feel about that now?
It's funny, it's almost like I can't touch it. It's kind of like a blank. It's like a not there.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So when you look at the overall situation,
Right.
what are you left with when you look at the whole picture now?
The desire that I have, that's part of what drove me in the first situation, but that's still continuing forward.
Great.
But it feels very light. I feel like I want to laugh. So it's a very, very light feeling.
Well, there you go.
Like, yeah, let's go get it.
Oh, motivated.
Exactly.
You see that?
Yeah.
Look at that. There it is.
Yeah.
All right. So here's what I recommend.
Do I look happy?
You do. And you look motivated and ready to move
I'm like
forward.
heading out the door while the camera's still running.
Exactly.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for showing us this process.
You're welcome.
I'm going to use this video and use the process again.
I recommend that people do it 3 times to really install it automatically.
Okay, and so listening to your words on the video.
Listening to the words on the video with the FO holding, install it 3 times, and that's it. It'll be permanent.
Wonderful. Well, thank you.
And automatic. Don't you love that?
I do love that. I like when it's easy. Thank you so much, Judith. Again, it's www.hblu.org for more information about your process. But thank you so much again.
Oh, you're welcome.